Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Ahoy, all of you flick freaks out there, what is going on? My name is Andrew, and we are back finally after 2 months of a hiatus away from being gone from the podcast. We are back, joined as always by the king of the doldrums, Brian Vaughn.
Whatever, I mean, it's good to be here.
Yeah. And the two gentlemen who have been kind enough to lend us their podcast to spew our voices on. We have Jareth and Mike from All Tower Media. Hello,
Hi.
guys.
Greetings! Yeah, I'll take credit for that. I'm pretty sure it's mostly Spellbook and Roper, but I'll take credit for it.
I'm always happy to.
You guys are
people spew
tangentially
things on other
involved.
things.
That's
Yeah.
good enough for us.
I will say that the one podcast all four of us were on, the Jurassic World podcast, one of the funnest times I've ever had doing.
Yeah,
this
that
podcast.
was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
So-
That was a good one.
I think it was the fact that you knew them and I didn't know it. And I thought you were just being a total dick. I'm like, mother of God, Brian.
Like
But,
when he starts ripping on me with my name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Fun.
I
By
was
the
like-
way, we haven't done this on our podcast yet. So,
What's
Jareth, our guest here, yes, I didn't say Jarrett or Jared. Jareth, as in David Bowie.
The Goblin King.
Yeah. Jareth, his name is Jareth Mooneyham.
Legitimately on my birth certificate.
Yeah. It literally is.
I've seen it.
Yeah, his wand is sticking out of his pocket right now as
No,
we
it
speak.
was a
That's not
perpetual
my
wizard
wand.
hat.
Well, that too. I mean, I gotta vary it up though. You know, he's got a cloak of invisibility right now though, so I can't see him.
That's not my wand.
Now, before we get into the Did You See That opinion of the week, we were having a fascinating conversation before we actually started recording about porn.
This is a great way to break the hiatus.
Yep.
I know. We've been gone for 2 months. It's been that long. That's insane.
I can't keep track of time any longer.
Warns
Yeah.
how I break up the hiatus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too true. So, you were saying that you guys know a gentleman who actually downloads porn for a later viewing. Is this correct?
I'm not even sure he later viewed. He just collected it, basically.
What would you call this person? Like what
Porn
would you
hoarder.
classify? What is
That's what I would.
A
Yeah.
porn hoarder, yeah. A
Here's-
porter?
A porter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, this
only
is a
works in
possibility.
spelling.
Say it's that time, you got to do it. All of a sudden, Wi-Fi's out.
Mm.
What are you going to do? You have all this downloaded porn for safety purposes. Because living in Springfield, Missouri, having Mediacom and as unreliable as they are,
So maybe he's a porn survivalist.
Ah.
Oh, so
What's
he's
that?
like
He's got like a cave of porn
Right,
waiting
right.
for the porn apocalypse.
canned
The
corn,
pornocalypse.
canned corn and stored porn.
Oh, and some
Or-
water. You got to rehydrate.
Yeah.
what do they call those people that are preparing for the apocalypse? What are they?
doomsday preppers.
Preppers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Porn prepper.
He's porn
He's a porn
prepper.
day.
It's
Porn
another
prepper.
kind of doomsday.
Yeah.
But everyone in our conversation before the start of the podcast found it very strange to download porn. I do, and I will explain to you why.
Okay.
My computer, my laptop that I've had for 6 years now, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And streaming is nigh impossible. But I can get good download speeds
Okay.
through completely legitimate means.
So here's the thing: what if you download a video and you're ready to go, and all of a sudden it's utter dog shit? This porn that you've spent this time downloading.
That's
What
why
are
you
gonna do?
download like 10 at a time.
Yeah,
and you're
it's,
safe.
it's quantity, not
You
quality.
have safety nets underneath, you know?
You build your own Pornhub at home
Yeah.
when Pornhub is down.
I feel like I've just been, the daredevil of porn. I'm just like, I've got Wi-Fi. I can just stream it whenever I want.
Well, that's
Now-
how I'll get back to that at some point in my life when I have a legitimate
just
computer.
Talk about how streaming is such a perfect verb here.
It
Streaming,
really
yeah.
is.
I say it like constantly in the videos, like, "Hey, I'm going to be Twitch streaming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday."
And it has nothing to do with
Freaks streaming all over your face.
Yeah. Streaming that's going to be the new porn, like, verb. Like, Oh, stream on my face.
Or like the next song from like what was that band like
Hold on, I'm buffering.
POD or something? Twitch stream.
Oh God, I've missed this.
Great.
So, I guess this is how we segue into
Great.
talking about The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I went and saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This came in my Did You See That opinion of the week. Guy Ritchie's new film starring Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill.
Armie Hammer, not his real name, right? We
It
agree
is.
on
It's
that?
not Arm and Hammer, Armie Hammer.
But is that his
That's
given
amazing.
name?
Yeah.
Like, was he born with it?
So he
Born
probably
with that name.
Of
he
the
probably
Hammer family?
was
Did you-
striving for success to overcome that name.
Did you ever see Social Network?
Mhm, yeah.
He was the
It was the
Winklevies.
yeah.
I like the plural of the Winklevies,
Yeah.
but they called them the Winklevi as the plural of their name as a joke in the movie.
Mm.
I thought it was funny.
Never saw it. So
Oh, really?
that's what this confused look is. I'm like, what the hell
I
is a
understand,
Winklevoss?
yeah.
No.
I was
No,
pretty
it's-
sure that was
Well,
like
just to fill you in, Jareth, on the Social Network, there are not any dragons at all.
Oh, well, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Not even like on a computer screen somewhere.
No.
So this is directed by Guy Ritchie, written by Guy Ritchie, and I was going into this thinking it was going to be something like Lock, Stock, and Snatch. And then I found out it's PG-13.
Boo.
And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll be sort of like the Sherlock films that he's done. Because I've actually enjoyed those movies.
Sure.
This movie, it's about the 1960 sort of during the Cold War, and an American spy and a Soviet spy have to team up to stop this entity from detonating a nuclear bomb somewhere in the world.
Sounds like a good premise.
Yeah, it's actually based on a 1960s television show.
Okay.
So they're bringing it back to life. The performances by Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, especially Henry Cavill, are amazing. You immediately fall in love with these characters. He's not a douche on the level of Archer, but he has the same narcissism that you would
Sure.
find in the character.
Yeah.
Always love that in a spy.
Exactly. It's the epitome of the American James Bond, sort of.
That's definitely the vibe I got from the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes me want to see it all the more.
And the problem I had with it was a great movie. I'll start off by saying that it's a see it. Everybody should go and see this movie. But if you're expecting like a tour de force, Guy Ritchie's bringing it back, it's not that movie. It's a good movie. But
Just fun.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I got something stuck in my teeth.
Good thing that I had like no preconceived notions. So I was just like, I guess it's a spy movie?
Yeah.
Which would have been the second spy movie to have probably surprised me in recent
What was the other
months. The Kingsman.
one? Oh,
yeah.
that movie was so fucking good.
Because I went to see it and I had no idea what it was about, so I just assumed that it was about like the Secret Service for the royalty of
Yeah.
and I knew that it had
Colin Firth.
Carolyn Firth in it, so I was like, oh,
Carolyn? Did you say
Carolyn
Carolyn?
Firth. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's got Carolyn Firth in it too.
Yeah.
No, it's got him in it, and I was like, oh, well, he's been in another movie with a king, so surely this is just going to be a serious
Another
drama.
movie with a king.
He was the king. in
The
another
King's
movie.
Speech
Nope.
2.
Yeah,
Secret Service.
But no, there was no anticipating that there would be that much kung fu and like flipping and
I had no
slicing.
idea that it was going to be a spy movie at
Yeah.
all.
The church scene in that movie with Freebird playing in the background is still my number one scene of 2015 because it was just so brilliant.
Yeah.
But getting back to The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the villains in this, you didn't feel any sense, for me personally anyway, you didn't feel any sense of dread against these people. They were just very asymmetrical, straightforward, we're the bad guys. Sort of like how I talked about I don't remember if it was on your podcast or not, but I talked about how in Guardians of the Galaxy, it wasn't Thanos. Who was the main villain in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Ronan the
Ronan.
Accuser.
Yeah. Ronan, I felt, was just a very straightforward, asymmetrical villain. Like,
Right.
Okay, this is the bad guy. He's bad.
Yeah.
That's how you felt in this movie.
Yeah.
But,
It's like difficult to suspend your disbelief. Like you're like, he's going down. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no way he's getting away with
I don't
it.
think you can get away with having a villain that's just like one-dimensional. Like, here's a bad guy,
Yeah.
no complexity whatsoever. Unless you just
Sorry,
like
that
that.
wasn't aimed
Whoa,
at you.
whoa!
Oh, Jareth was
Pump
doing
the
some
brakes there,
mustache
Jareth.
twirling.
To be clear, everybody, that was me mustache twirling, but I don't have a mustache.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. Who
Basically,
does.
Jared just put on blackface.
I mean, it's the
the
equivalent.
same level of offensive.
Honestly, I hope he allows me to drink out of the same water fountain.
Jesus Christ!
No.
Moved that to a new level there.
Mustacheless only.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the real catching, like, you have to go see this movie. The real desirable part is the chemistry, the Hardy Boy thing between Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill.
Do they
They're
at any
so
point
fun.
fuck?
Not
You
really.
It's PG-13.
Oh, I forgot.
There is
Okay.
fucking in the movie,
Okay.
but
Nothing good, though.
Did PG-13 change definitions while I wasn't looking?
did you ever see Titanic?
Yes.
There's sex and nudity in it, and it's PG-13.
What?
Yeah,
Different times.
yeah.
Well,
God,
I
I
guess
guess the
there's-
'90s.
There's nudity in Clash of the Titans too. The first one.
That's PG.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that crazy? It's not like sexy nudity, right?
Yeah, no, it's just like a naked lady riding a horse with her son.
yeah,
Just kind of weird.
yeah. Good movie.
Yeah, love that movie.
The Kraken is also nude for the duration
He is
of its
very
appearance.
nude, but
You
you
can
only
see
see him
some
from
of-
the waist up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can see some of his tentacles.
Yeah. Some of them.
God damn.
Hi-oh. Okay, so this movie, on my top movies of 2015, I'm going to pull up the list here. I think I have it listed as number best films. Here we go. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everyone
6
listen as Andrew counts.
is the 7th best film I have seen that's come out this year.
Okay. What was number one? Just to clarify.
Age of Ultron, followed by Fury Road,
Cool. I can live with that.
Fair enough.
What's third?
Kingsman,
What's fourth?
Jurassic World. I'll just do the whole list right now. Okay.
You've only got two more because we know 7.
No, okay, so here's all the way from like the bottom to the top.
This is as of so far.
So far from
In
January
2015.
1st to now. And the films have to have come out this year. Can't just be like, I saw Godfather 2 this year, it was amazing. No, this is a Taken 3. I'm going worst to first. Taken 3.
Can I stop you right there?
Yes.
What number does this end on?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Actually,
9.
better
Everyone
question.
listen as Andrew counts again.
13.
More important
13.
question.
Okay.
How many movies have you seen this year?
13.
Okay.
Okay, so of
In
the
the clear.
third, that's why Taken.
Well, you
3.
should have
Got
heard the
it.
Yeah.
year-end thing we did last year.
Yeah.
He'd seen like 68 or something.
No,
Or
yeah. At the end of last year, I saw 68 films.
something like that. Yeah, it was
Was
a
And I
lot.
listed them all off.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Taking 2 at the bottom of that one.
It was pretty low. Yeah. But this is Taken 3, and then Maggie, Chappie, Spy, Ant-Man, Rogue Nation, Furious 7, Ex Machina, Kung Fury, Jurassic World, Kingsman, Mad Max, and number 1 is Avengers.
Gotcha.
All
Well,
right.
your bottom 6 are ones I've seen. So
There you go. I'm not just because they're at the bottom of the list. You got to keep in mind I've only seen 13 movies this year, so just because they're low on the list doesn't mean they're bad.
There's a big
Unless
But it
there's Taken
probably
3.
does.
let's be fair. Taken 3 is going to stay pretty close to the bottom.
Yeah, it was pretty tragic.
wouldn't
harsh
it
to
be
watch.
so painful if Andrew was like, actually, I really,
We couldn't
really
really
like
taken
this.
through.
I really liked it, but
I never
struggled with putting it in number.
I never saw it because my reasoning on that is I knew it existed and I was like, oh, Taken 3, and then I figured it was not very good, so I didn't ever see it.
apparently Liam Neeson. I know we're jumping into the top 10 news right now, but this didn't make the news. Liam Neeson is going to be playing Douglas MacArthur in a movie coming out next year.
That's kind of weird.
Like the general.
The General. Yeah.
Okay.
All
I can
right.
see that.
So now it's time to move into the top 10 news items of the week. Starting off, James Wan, the creator of the Saw series, has signed on to create a reboot of the film franchise and game franchise Mortal Kombat.
Well, at least we know there will be blood in it.
Oh my god, will there ever be blood? And that's something that obviously the original Mortal Kombat movie, and we're not going to speak of Annihilation because that movie is dead to me.
It's dead to everybody.
Yeah. It's something that it lacked. And it's funny because that's what that game series is known for, is over-the-top violence. It's the original game what created the MPAA
We might
of game ratings.
We might actually be. This is my one optimistic look for it. Is we might actually be in store for a movie, a Mortal Kombat movie, where somebody literally takes somebody's skull, rips their whole spine out,
Yep.
and shows them their body.
Yep, that's the original Sub-Zero move, and that is actually the move why the MPAA was created for gaming ratings, like the mature and stuff. Because
Thanks,
Sub-Zero
Mortal
ripped
Kombat.
because Sub-Zero ripped the guy's head out. So, Jareth, I'm going to turn this over to you. Just some quick thoughts.
Oh boy.
You are the horror film expert, and
He's
James
giving a thumbs
Wan
up.
is a very well-known director of horror films. What do you think we can expect from this movie?
Well, it's not a horror film, or at least it shouldn't be.
Maybe it should be.
I mean, are the Saw films horror films? The
I
first,
think the original one might have
Yeah,
been
I
categorized.
actually will stand by the original one as being above average. It's pretty good.
certainly.
I would
The other
say-
12 are horrible.
I would say they're definitely horror films, but they're not. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with horror because it's a broader genre than it seems. I mean, it's not just like, oh, it's a monster horror film. Or
No,
it's a
but yeah, you
torture
have like
horror.
suspense
There's a
or
shit
monster
ton of
movies or
subgenres for
it.
slasher.
So what is horror? Well, in the truest sense, yes. Saw is
Nicholas
a horror-
Sparks adaptations.
Yeah, that's horrifying. In the truest sense, Saw. Yeah, I'm turning into my grandmother. Saw is a horror film because as you're watching it, you're horrified by what's happening.
Fair enough.
But I would not. It's not a terror film. You're never terrified.
Okay.
Like the situation they're in is horrible. Horror again,
Yeah.
and the whole time you're like, man, I hope that never happens to me.
So you're saying there's a definition between, I say horror, because whenever I say horror, it sounds like I'm saying horror. So I say horror.
Well, a horror
Right.
film is a different thing.
It's a very different thing. So you're saying
It's
there's
more
a
what we
definition-
started out with
There's-
discussing.
There's
Yeah.
a difference between horror and terror.
Yeah.
Okay.
So older horror films are going to have more terror usually with the suspense. They cut out your knowledge as much as possible. This one, the only thing you didn't know was who did it. Why are they being tortured like this?
Yeah.
But you're seeing everything. It's like, oh, okay, well, guy's got to chop off his foot, so.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I agree though, because I agree with what you were initially saying, but at least with the first one, you don't directly see a perpetrator whatsoever, nor do you know why any of this is happening or what will happen next. There's not a reasonable expectation. So I think it does meet a few of those
Yeah. Then
qualifications.
I would definitely say of the series, the first one is the best.
Oh, the rest are just dog shit.
So, I guess when I'm thinking about this, James Wan and what I know him for, is he doing anything besides Saw? Is he known for
He
anything
directed
besides-
Furious 7.
Did
The
he
newest
not?
Fast and Furious movie.
Did he not also?
Which was really good, actually.
That does put him in a good spot because the thing is, Mortal Kombat, you can get some visceral fatalities out of a guy who's doing Saw, but can you get the martial
action.
arts flipping and punching and kicking and
Yeah.
the 14-year-old boy playing with his action figures vibe? Can you do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Another thing. This is probably just going to be me, so that's cool.
Great.
I don't give a shit about Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Okay,
I
there's-
love it.
Last
It
That's
was,
my personal.
I can honestly say whenever I got the original Mortal Kombat game on the Sega, that's why I became a gamer. That is the game.
That's just a
Mine was
bunch of
Sonic,
button
but
mashing
still.
to me. I just don't. I
Sonic
don't.
was great too.
Sonic was great.
I had an
know.
Atari originally, and then I went to the NES, and I just dabbled. I'll play Duck Hunt once a week and Super Mario, but then whenever I got Mortal Kombat, it was every day. I got to play this.
My mom wouldn't let me play Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's a
It should
shame.
be noted that James Wan also directed The Conjuring, and
He didn't do
Insidious
Annie.
2.
Or Annabelle. That's what the other one.
Annie.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
License
the musical.
Insidious.
He
Or,
didn't direct the.
And I actually like The
Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Oh, here's
I
a
haven't seen Insidious 2, I don't think.
Here's a fun little twisting of everything together. Paul Anderson, the gentleman who directed Annabelle, directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Not Paul Thomas.
Not
Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Just Paul Anderson.
I was about to
Yeah.
ask that.
No, not Paul Thomas.
I find it pretty important when you share a middle name, like when you share the first and last name with someone, you're entering the same industry.
Yeah.
pretty important your middle name
I
is.
guarantee
Yeah.
you, after he saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation, he saw it directed by Paul Anderson. He's like, no, I'm Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm putting that in every single directorial title I get from now on.
It'd
Paul
be
Thomas Anderson.
Pretty hilarious if Paul Anderson's middle name was also Thomas.
Oh my god!
But he couldn't use it because it was already publicly
Yeah.
known.
I want to see like a WWE brawl between Paul Thomas Anderson, Paul Anderson, and Wes Anderson. Just
It's
them
a lot
all
of
in there.
Anderson.
There's a lot of Andersons.
It is the most Anderson.
So I would go and see a Mortal Kombat film directed by James Wan. I would go and see it regardless, just because I feel at this time I'm kind of in for whatever.
So, like, for me, if they made Yoshi's Island the movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
on a less comical, if they did a Legend of Zelda movie, I
Okay, well, I would
Day
say that
one.
too.
Day one
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely go see Mortal Kombat, but I'm ambivalent as to whether or not it's going to work out.
Yeah.
But part of that's I'm a little bit scared since Annihilation.
Pretty
Okay.
tragic. Yeah. All right. Speaking of insane gore, Ian McShane has signed on to star in season 9 of Game of Thrones.
Is that an
So-
accurate season number?
So they are by
It
now.
was season 8, wasn't it?
that was 5.
Okay, so I probably just
6?
see. Thank you very much.
So it's just a flippy, the number has been flipped.
Yeah, it was the printer's fault. Apologies, everybody. Season 6 of Game of Thrones. Hey, where were you on that one whenever you proofread this
Just-
for me?
Yeah, you
Gareth?
piece of shit.
Well,
I'd stopped watching after season 2.
Oh, yeah.
No, but proofreading the thing, I think you have a gauge of how many years it's been. No, never mind.
No.
I don't, so I
I
can't.
slip in and out of time.
I am interested to see what character he would be portraying because
we are past the books now, aren't we?
there are
Partially.
parts of the book that are completely done, and then there's other parts they haven't even touched.
Okay.
So
Ironborn stuff.
I think, yeah, Ironborn
Oh.
stuff, and I think doesn't Davos get sent off somewhere and get
Yeah,
captured? So
yeah.
that may be where Ian McShane comes in because
I don't know that that's going to happen.
At the end of
Really?
the books, Davos gets sent off somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that that's going to happen because of the trajectory that has been taken.
Yeah. But so you say you stopped watching Game of Thrones after season 2, but you sound like you've read the books. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mike, how far are you on either?
I've read the books.
Okay.
So, I've watched more of the show, and let's just say I think it's great that people like the show, and if you've never read the books, that's fucking fine, but like I can't watch the show for some reason.
See, it does not
just-
bother me as someone who's done both.
It bugs me for some
Yeah.
reason.
I totally have. It did bother me like in season 2, actually. And then after that, I started viewing it as like a separate entity to where it was just almost like a correlating story with the same characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was easier for me to deal with, and I enjoyed it.
See, I thought season 1 and book 1 were like dead on.
Pretty
like,
much.
But then after that, they branched off.
Season 1 was excellent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want to sound too jaded about the rest of the show.
We don't
but-
give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty jaded about the rest of the show.
Okay.
See, like I
He
tried.
just doesn't want to sound that way.
I
Right.
tried doing the separating the entities and like watching it that way, but mostly what it came down to is I just didn't like it as much as I wanted.
Oh, well,
to.
yeah, that's fine.
Because I mean,
yeah.
like season 1 was really good, regardless of how it was connected to the books. It was
Yeah.
super good. So season 2, like the whole time, I was like, I'm slogging through this, and so I'm like, all right, I'll try and separate it from the books because clearly they're diverting pretty hard
Yeah.
in like weird ways. And then I was just like, nope, it still just doesn't add up. So I
Yeah.
quit.
I think that as long as you are sort of faithful to the source material, you can diverge in certain areas just to throw off the audience because I've watched the show, I've read all the books. Okay, here's a hypothetical. Whenever they make the Dark Tower into a series,
Mhm.
I've read the book series like 5 times over. I want them to throw things at me that aren't in the books because if they make just a pure adaptation of the books, I'd be like, knew that was coming, knew that was coming, knew that was
Right.
coming, and I won't be, but I want something to be like, whoa, what'd they do there?
Without altering like the fabric. of it.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
see, therein lies the problem is you're probably in the minority there.
It's a very fine line, and I absolutely am in the minority.
Yeah, because I'm more or less that way too. But I do think the majority of nerdy folk such as ourselves would prefer a goddamn shot-for-shot remake of what they read that lasts 75 hours And if there's one thing that differentiates, they will literally shit in the studio's mailbox. Like, I mean, it's insane some of the stuff I see. Like, well, that character is slightly more handsome than he was in mine own imagination.
He had brown hair in the book.
Yeah. Oh dear. I will boycott. I will file a lawsuit.
So it's, well, like, so with The Walking Dead, by my understanding, a lot of that is different
Oh, it's so
from
different.
the graphic novel.
Yeah, and I'll never read a graphic novel, so I don't
But-
know.
I like graphic novels. They're pretty fun.
I don't want
Like,
illustrations.
I hear tons of people saying, just read the graphic novels, like, but it's sort of that The Walking Dead differentiated itself enough from the graphic novels that
From the get-go, though.
yeah, right out of the bats, right off the, whatever. So, so it's saying like, this is, the TV adaptation. This is kind of going in different directions. This missing characters. Some characters died before they actually, or some, some still survived in the comics. Like, so I'm going to have to agree that, about that for adaptations.
Yeah, and I think you see adaptations moving in different directions too, like the Fargo TV show, which I don't know if you watched.
Nope.
It's very, very good.
Oh,
and has
so fucking
has
good.
nothing to do with the movie.
Oh,
It's
Like,
the
at
same.
all.
It's the same total feel,
Mhm.
but the story, the characters, all completely different.
interesting.
Which is a cool idea. Like basically, getting the Coen brothers their money and respect for the general concept of that
Yeah.
world, but
Yeah.
not using directly any of their material.
yeah.
And the cast of season 2 that you sent me for
Oh, yeah, it's
Fargo is
great.
going to be amazing. And getting back to Ian McShane, I'm excited to see what he can bring to whatever character he does, because Game of Thrones can do this thing where they can get not A-list actors, but they can get very well respected actors to be in
Like B- list actors.
exactly. Like they got Ciarán Hinds to play Mance Rayder,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that guy was amazing. I loved the Mance Rayder character and his portrayal in the
Just
show.
a pretty thankless role in the show.
Yeah. But speaking of Ian McShane, HBO has set things in motion to create Deadwood, the movie.
Okay.
So, did you guys ever watch Deadwood?
I still haven't. I do own it completely legitimately.
Yeah.
And
You know
I
what?
intend to watch it.
What I keep hearing about Deadwood is that it is so good until the ending.
Really?
Yep, that's what I keep hearing.
I keep hearing it's the greatest show of all time.
Okay.
And I've seen 3 episodes of it, and they were pretty damn good. But,
I've seen like
Again-
one episode. So
By my understanding, it basically sets everything up in like the last season, and then the last episode it just sort of ends without resolving.
But also, they
anything.
did not know they were ending. Is that correct?
Right. They were just
Yeah,
canceled without.
sort of like Firefly. There's,
Yeah.
hey, you're canceled. What the fuck?
Well, Firefly at least got to have like a. They kind of got to tie things off.
Epilogue.
They didn't really even set anything up. So,
No.
so I mean, if Deadwood's gonna have a movie, now I have reason to watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to invest in watching like a multi-season show
When you know there's no payoff.
Yeah.
You know it resolutely.
I don't give a fuck about the journey.
I only want the destination. That's why I'd take planes.
you don't take them just to fly? Feel
No.
how birds feel?
I can do that without a plane, Jareth.
Because I
Under the
fly
right
so that I can
medication.
jump off the wing and punch a seagull in the face.
That sounds awesome.
Dive punching.
yeah,
yeah.
I want to punch it from the sky.
Yeah, falcon punching.
It never expects
If you will.
Okay, here's a way going off the topics
Oh.
of everything here.
Please.
I watched a YouTube video the other day of a guy jumping out of a plane onto a shark. Oh, it was a helicopter. He jumped out of a helicopter onto the back of a shark and like tackled it in the ocean.
And he aimed to do that?
Yeah, that was his goal. He's like, shark! And he jumped out and like grabbed it, and the shark was like, it wasn't like a great white, but it was a fucking shark.
How did that end? Is he okay?
He has
No.
like 9 testicles now. It's something. I don't
He
know.
got more.
He got more.
He just kept gaining them.
Yeah.
He became so manly.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
his 9th.
That
testicle.
guy is
Yeah.
streaming right now.
He is so streaming and buffering. It's not
Yeah.
even funny. Okay, how can
He
I
got
tie
his-
this in?
He got his 3rd testicle from punching a volcano until it stopped erupting.
Deadwood was a fairly violent show. So was The Departed, that had Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese. Speaking of DiCaprio and Scorsese, they are joining it together once again to bring to the big screen the story of H.H. Holmes.
Flawless segue.
I will
Thank
watch.
you.
I will watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Side note.
That's going
I'm
to be a
very
jacked up
excited.
movie.
Yeah.
Dude, it's going to be brutal. It was okay. Here's something really weird. My sister sent me a message the other day. She never wants to see movies with me at all because we have very different tastes in films. And whenever she said, "I really want to see this new movie that has H.H. Holmes in it," I'm like, it's like murdery and rapey, right? And she's like, I love Scorsese and I love DiCaprio. Let's go see this movie. I'm like, it's going to be awkward. Your husband's going to have to sit between us. Just so it's not too
If I had a nickel for every time I've had to say that.
Yeah. But no, I'm beyond stoked for this movie because I think DiCaprio has done a very good job of going from pretty boy actor to damn good actor.
He also gets to like take awesome roles all the time now
Mhm.
because he can.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The Revenant
position to
looks
be in.
amazing.
Yeah, I'll see that too.
Yeah. But
The
what
what?
The Revenant? It was this old book that actually went out of print because I wanted to buy it a couple of years ago and it was $500. But now that they're making this movie, it's back in print and I found it for $15. But it's about this fur trapper and his companions. They're being chased by Indians back like settler days. And they stumble
Set
up.
5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very racist.
Just as the millennium turned,
Yeah. they
the Y2K bug hit and civilization was wiped out.
I know. I know people that were like waiting by ATMs because they thought money was just going to start shooting out of them.
Oh my god.
I know. But
If
as they're
only.
running away from these Native Americans who are trying to hunt them down, they get attacked by a bear. And like Leonardo DiCaprio's character is like mauled, like insane. Like they think he's going to die and they got to keep moving because these Indians are hot on their trail. So Tom Hardy's character and fucking Eyebrow Kid,
I'm glad you remember.
I remember
what I
fucking
think of him.
Eyebrow Kid.
Fucking eyebrow kid.
Will Poulter, I think, is his actual
Is that
name.
that
don't
eyebrow?
care.
That one eyebrow kid?
From We Are the Millers?
I never saw that, but he was in some movie that I did regrettably see.
Oh,
He was in Maze Runner.
Divergent.
yes, that.
Oh, that's it.
I liked Maze
Maze
Runner.
It was fine.
Okay, yeah, he fucking Eyebrow Kid is in it as well.
What is
So-
with that?
I don't know, but he's going to be playing Pennywise, from what I gather, in the
Yeah.
It remake. But Tom Hardy and fucking Eyebrow Kid leave DiCaprio in the woods after he gets mauled by a bear because they got to get away from these Indians. But DiCaprio's character survives, so now he's made it his life mission to hunt them down and kill them because
jacked up.
they abandoned him. And
He
that's
was
what
mauled
they're-
by a bear.
I would kill eyebrow kid on principle.
Yeah.
I'd
Just-
let Tom Hardy's fine. He can live.
yeah.
But that's made by Alejandro Inarritu, who made Birdman and Babel and all those amazing movies. But getting back to this H.H. Holmes movie, I'm going to watch the living shit out of this. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Scorsese does, god damn, he does thriller. I mean, he doesn't really do thrillers, but man, he does tension so well and violence so well.
Shutter Island was kind of disappointing. So, yeah.
But the tension was
I
really,
really
fucking
liked
great.
it. That was a definite journey versus destination.
The
movie
first
for me.
30 minutes of Shutter Island,
Yeah.
like you are on the edge of your seat.
Well, see, I knew the ending of Shutter Island
Okay.
as soon as it started. I was like, DiCaprio's crazy. Like, I knew it immediately.
I was actually in the same boat. I've
Really?
only seen like the first 15 minutes on a plane, and I was like, he's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But
There's
I'm
sixth
not
sense
saying-
in this bitch.
I did not call that, but I don't
That's
think
'cause
anybody
you were,
called
like,
that besides
12.
you, apparently.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just since then, now that's what it is.
The
My
Shyamalan
dad
Milani.
called it in the middle of it, and I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
Wow.
And then I watched that movie again as an adult. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's my firm opinion of The Sixth Sense.
So unanimous. Everybody's going to go and see this H.H. Holmes film.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Watch a movie about America's first like murderer, dude.
Yeah.
Well, serial killer.
Serial killer. Yeah. America's
Yeah, we've
first
been
serial
murdering
killer.
this whole time. But
Yeah.
Speaking of serial killers, season 2 of True Detective has wrapped up. Did anybody besides me watch it?
I did.
What'd you
Watched
think?
all of it. I thought it was very good, and I know not many people think that.
Mm-hmm.
But
See,
I know
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was amazing,
no.
but at the same time, I think season 1 is way overhyped.
disagree. I was aboard the hype train way sooner than everyone else anyway.
I
So I was-
had no concept, and then I watched it, and then I was the conductor of the hype train.
Yeah, I
ran
was
the train. On
I
the
was all up on the hype train. The second season is just a very different thing
Very.
with a lot of problems, but it's still super engaging.
What-
So, I mean, I don't have a.
What would you guys say it is that is pissing everyone off about it?
It isn't the first season.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's a combination of too many characters, as well as there are so many story arcs that are branching off in different directions.
Yeah.
It is so fucking hard to keep track of where everything is going. By the end of that season, I'm like, so did they win? Did they
I guess
lose? What just
I don't
happened?
mind the idea of it, but what they failed in execution is by having so many plot lines, you almost don't get enough time to broaden some of the characters, which is a problem I did have with it. I just really enjoyed watching it, so I continued to do so.
The performances in this season were phenomenal. I will say
I
this.
thought they were pretty solid. I don't, there were some moments where Colin Farrell sounded like
I couldn't understand a fucking word he said.
Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah. Could not
Yeah.
understand a word that guy said. But Vince Vaughn was probably my favorite character this season.
Yeah, I go back and forth on that because some scenes he actually is surprisingly good, and then in some scenes he's like reading off a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange. I can see why he was cast, though. He actually
Mhm.
acquits himself nicely in some spaces. But
Yeah. Rachel McAdams was
she was
good. And Kyle or
Taylor
Hirsch-
Kitsch.
Taylor Kish. He was there.
That's not much of a role, and it could have been. Like, he
Yeah.
barely speaks.
Like at all. He just has
Yeah.
that look like he's about to throw up every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like really, he's just
Ever since John Carter.
yeah. I always have a bitter taste in my mouth whenever I hear his name because he totally ruined Gambit. And Gambit's my favorite X-Men.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, him. So there you go. True Detective is not on Netflix. Speaking of
Never will be.
Netflix, Netflix is set to create a live-action Star Wars series. Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Is there more to go on than just they are thinking about doing it?
From what I gather, things have been set in motion.
So, like, they've obtained rights to do so.
Mhm.
Do they have like a setting time period, like what's going down?
Well,
this
that's-
is very, very early.
So an agreement was just made that Netflix can do this. So it's
Yes.
probably going to be 4 years before
Yeah.
we see anything
Yeah.
out of this.
Because don't forget, not only besides the trilogy that they're doing right now, they're also doing offshoot movies. They're doing a Boba Fett movie that is being directed by Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla and Monsters.
Whose name is slightly similar to yours, Jareth.
Slightly.
Doing a Boba Fett, we have Han Solo.
Yes, and then we have
And-
the trilogy.
We also have Rogue Squadron, I think.
Yes. And ever since Star Wars was acquired by Disney, Disney has set things in motion to just ram Star Wars down our throats.
They're going to
And
make
I'm
some
afraid-
money.
I'm afraid that they're going to do so much that people are going to be sick of Star Wars.
I already am.
Are we sick
like
of Are we sick of Marvel?
I'm
yes,
getting there.
Yes,
Getting there.
absolutely.
I don't know, man. I mean, once a year a big Marvel movie comes out, like
We're
we're
three
getting-
a year.
Yeah, we're
Pretty
getting
close.
to the point
Is it really?
now where it's more because we've got
yeah, we had Ant-Man.
Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, and
I think
Yeah.
Civil War is coming out. Is it the end of this year? Or?
No, that's next year.
Okay.
we're getting set for like 3 to 5.
Our next
every
topic
year.
is that not a Marvel creation?
It is.
Yeah,
Okay. So
And it's
everybody's
the
on
first
board.
one that's bombed.
yeah.
So yeah, Fantastic Four. Well, it's a Fox affiliate. So Fantastic Four has plummeted to a 3.9 out of 10 on IMDb and an 8% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Has anybody seen this movie?
No,
I wanted to.
I want to see it just to see how bad it is.
I think I'm going to make it as a stance, as a general stance that I feel good about. Makes me feel like a better person. I'm going to not see another goddamn superhero movie unless there's a really compelling reason for me to do so. Because I mean, every plot is identical.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't see a need.
Yeah, there's one plot for a superhero movie.
Yeah, there is one way it can go.
Bad
And-
guy beat him?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, here's something. That
No,
might
but
get-
there's tension between the superhero and his friends at one point, and then it gets better, and then
Not if
Yeah.
it's a singular superhero.
and he's always got friends. even if
Superman
they're at
don't-
odds with one another at various times.
Superman doesn't have friends.
Perry White is his pal.
Superman
No.
sucked ass.
Also, all Superman does is
I like
whatever
Man
the
of Steel.
fuck he
I
wants.
liked it.
I liked it except for the IHOP product placement and
It was pretty.
the fact that he
right in
destroys
your
a
face.
city because he won't just kill one dude who was really awesome in that movie, Take Shelter.
Well, that's where this whole Dawn of Justice thing is going, is because Bruce Wayne was in Metropolis the day that Superman and what's his name,
Zod.
were like brawling, and that's why he's fighting Superman now.
Oh,
Which
what movie
early
you talking about? That was good.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Apparently, early screenings of this Dawn of Justice movie, everybody's saying Ben Affleck is the greatest Batman of all time, and because of that, they've signed him on for 3 Batman movies.
Do you know what? Everyone's freaking out about Ben Affleck, and personally, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why we hate him so much.
I have no idea.
Oh my god, you're
I've
my new
never
best
understood
friend.
that.
I think he's amazing.
I feel he'll be Christian Bale. I'm sorry, was a shitty Batman.
He was a great Bruce Wayne.
He was a Bruce Wayne. I think Ben Affleck.
He was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck can do both. All you have to do to be Batman is have a gravelly voice, and to
It's
be
not
Bruce
hard.
Wayne, you need to have a personality.
What you're going to need though are scripts. Like these, whatever this is, it will not. I mean, if anyone tells me otherwise, maybe I'll see it. But
Right.
it will not be better than the Nolan Batman movies.
Oh my God.
Because
It's-
they won't be as well written. They won't be as interesting. It'll be good guy, bad guy.
It's the
everybody
difference
fun.
between like the Nolan Batman movies are like literature, and
Yeah.
anything else is
Comparatively.
going to be like genre fiction.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, because the Nolans were set in a plausible, realistic world.
Yeah, like the other
Funny
stuff.
air quotes.
Yeah. The other stuff, like the superhero-y stuff, kind of took a back seat. It was more or less just like icing. It wasn't like
It was about an ideal. It wasn't about.
it wasn't. Let's just have stuff go nuts for 3 hours until you pee out your popcorn.
Yeah, it was like
Ow?
That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
the Nolan Batman movies were about upholding a principle under pressure, and basically every other superhero movie has just been about
Being a
ultimately
superhero.
Find them,
fighting-
get them.
Yeah, get them, and like there's some other stuff, but mostly just get them.
Basically, it's a switch because normally there's the holding an ideal under pressure, but it's taking a back seat to the superhero action. With the Nolan, it's flipped.
Keeping in mind, I probably like the Avengers movies more than the Nolan Batman. Just gonna say that, and
They're
I'll
different.
happily be lynched later.
At
They're
least
different,
with
and I
the
can't put them in the same category. For me personally, that's like saying rate a comedy and a horror in the same thing.
Sure.
They're both.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rate them together. I'm just saying that I probably have a better time, and
They're
I'm
more
happier.
entertaining.
Yeah.
At least there is some emphasis on, I guess, with the 2 Avengers movies as compared to other popcorn superhero movies. There's like it's less self-serious a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
Yeah.
And some of the dialogue's really well done, things like that.
Mhm.
And then it gets really serious, and then I'm angry
Right.
because that has no business being serious.
What we're trying to say is the Fantastic Four sucks. Apparently,
Sure.
Okay,
Well, I
ooh,
think we said that pretty well in the way we introduced the segue.
yeah.
Sure.
Hey guys, this is now rated like the worst movie ever.
Ooh.
Speaking of the worst,
I got
movie
no.
ever,
I got a fantastic segue, and you're not taking this away from me with that. So, one of the Fantastic Four is the Thing. He is made out of rocks. Speaking of The Rock,
well done.
Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron have signed on to make an R-rated Baywatch movie. Thank God.
So is this set to be like a buddy cop type of deal?
I hope so.
Or is this-
Apparently, from what I've read, it's a mockery of this show.
oh, that's fine. But there's,
So they're still going to have like Pam Anderson and Carmen Electra, I guess, are going to be in it.
Can they get younger versions?
I
of
still
them?
think that they're pretty, yeah. But they're in their 50s, so
Yeah, that's too much.
they look better. They look better in their 50s than I do in my late 20s.
Oh, I don't
That's
dispute
fair.
that. I
That's-
look like shit.
I don't
I'm-
like Andrew. I don't want to see you in a bikini.
no.
So yeah, I mean that's
fine.
I definitely have sex with Carmen Electra before you. I'm sorry.
Did you hear that, Carmen? Jareth is willing to put a wizard hat on his Frodo and drive it directly into Mordor.
Let's just hope I don't
at
go
your
to
Please
nearest
tell me that's what
Crack-a-doom.
Carmen Electra calls her vagina.
Yeah.
Mordor.
Better than the Crack-a-doom.
That was a deep cut Lord of the Rings reference right there that Jareth just did.
Yeah.
It's funny
Yeah, I
is
like
because he
Lord of the
calls
Rings.
his dick the Hobbit. So
No, just Frodo. It has a
It's a
Frodo.
specific Hobbit.
his
Has a
specific Hobbit.
It
Not,
proper
couldn't be
noun.
any Hobbit. It's got to be Frodo,
not
Yeah.
Pippin.
not Pippin.
Okay.
well, maybe Pippin.
I would go and see Baywatch movie on principle because it was the show I always snuck to watch while my parents were at work. And because there were boobs on screen.
It was a lot harder. You guys don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get
before-
the appeal.
Before
Yeah.
internet, this
yeah,
is what we
it was
had.
really difficult.
Fair enough.
All we had was Baywatch and JCPenney catalogs.
'Cause
That's
my-
all we had.
I
My
got
family-
to watch HBO as a kid. So.
See, we were poor.
we were very poor.
My family didn't have internet until I was 14, or
I was 18, yeah.
or like any kind of cable kind of a thing. So it was like a you did whatever you could to stream.
Yeah. we went through hell to buffer and stream
Yeah.
when we were kids.
It was very difficult.
You know, you always hear about the old HBO getting the antenna to kind of work where you kind of see a fuzzy
Yeah.
boob. I didn't even have that.
well, we did have one thing.
Fuzzy boob.
One thing that
Fuzzy
happened
boob.
once a year, and that was free preview weekend.
Oh man,
I didn't even get that.
hop
It
on
was
there at 2
awesome.
a.m.
Yeah.
No, it was all about JCPenney catalogs and Baywatch when I was a kid. That's all I had. And
This
then
has
the
been a
internet-
disgusting podcast. so
Thank you,
far.
everybody who has stuck with us for this past hour.
Who
as
made
we
it past the porn intro?
Yeah, I think our YouTube audience who may be listening to this is well accustomed to the shit that I talk about on our channel whenever I do reaction videos. So, oh man, how can I turn this in? Speaking of amazing things from my childhood,
Speaking of horrible shit that came out of someone's orifice,
hey, there we go.
Speaking of large brown men,
Cartoon characters?
Yeah. LeBron James has set to star in Space Jam 2.
yep, that's a thing.
Apparently, the original Space Jam movie does not hold up if you try and watch it as an adult.
That is shocking.
I watched it like 2 years ago, and I was like, surprisingly, this holds up.
Bill,
That was exactly what I said.
Good.
that's what you
because
thought to yourself.
That's how.
I will say that Bill Murray's scenes all hold up because apparently he just said whatever he wanted to say anytime he was on screen.
Oh, that's amazing.
The only time I saw Space Jam, I think I was 9, so I
Yeah.
don't really remember it.
I remember going to the Palace to watch that movie.
How could you have been 9?
I think it came out in
He was born an old man. Is that what you're saying?
Didn't that come out in like 1993?
No, it came out in
4?
1998.
Someone look that up.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, look that up. Maybe I wasn't 9.
SP. I'm gonna find.
I don't really remember anything before like
A-
20, so I don't.
C E.
I'm gonna get some more.
Okay, I had to
alcohol
type
real
in
quick.
Yeah, you
space
should
before
make that happen.
I had to type in. It came out in 1996.
Damn it! So split the difference basically. And
I was-
So you were like 12.
Yeah, he was 12.
Yeah.
I was 10.
Actually, it would have been the summer, so I would have been 11.
So,
Jareth, if we're doing the math on that,
Let's just
Yeah.
be clear here, everybody, because
Yeah.
we're not that much younger than you.
it's like 5 years.
how old?
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
I'm 29.
You're 29. Okay.
That's not accurate.
I'm 46.
But
Okay.
either one of those is believable. You fucking have Kevin Spacey, motherfucker.
That is brutal.
I don't know, or John Cusack.
Yeah,
did we
he-
ever
he wants to
arrive?
make me cry.
Did
I
we
just go
ever
home and do
arrive
it.
on?
God.
Did we? Did we ever arrive on Jareth looking more like Kevin Spacey or John Cusack? Was that Jareth? Just get a serious face for a second, so Andrew can have a look at you. Like, do you see it?
Okay, I'm going to need you to talk about being president, and then I'm going to immediately need you to talk about how awesome it is owning a record store.
I can't do either on the spot. What is this? What flavor are you?
Also, like
Mango apple.
I'm going to go more Cusack.
more Cusack,
I recently so
modern day Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyone?
No. I refuse. Unfortunately, we have similar eye things.
Yeah, there is a
Like,
similar
I-
eye thing. Yeah, like kind of narrowed eyes, like you're skeptical.
Yeah, but
Which
this
you
is
probably
actually-
are
This is what my
on-
eyes are like unless I'm doing this.
Jareth, the Google searches for your name are going to spike significantly after this episode.
Yeah. We can only
You will
dream.
find nothing. I have eliminated my online presence. Can you take that?
If you Google Jareth Mooneyham,
Can I interrupt again in
Yes.
the middle of this actual podcast that people are going to listen to and ask, where's the beer at?
Oh, and
Brian?
That is-
it's in the fridge in the door. Was it not there?
I don't know. I'll check.
I will.
This is
How many did you
surprisingly
drink,
good.
Brian? One,
One.
yeah, there should be one left in the bottom of the door.
he's right. The Google searches for Jareth Mooneyham are surprisingly unproductive.
My great grandmother, people who have known me on Google Plus, and movies like RoboCop. Don't know why. Love it. You will find RoboCop in the images.
If you do go to images, you'll also find pictures of me
There's a
and
bottle
Mike.
opener in that little tray over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll also find pictures of Mike and I, though, if you Google Jareth Mooneyham and go to images.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what was I defending? Oh, so
Anti-Haley Joel Osment.
yeah, no, not that. So I met a person like a couple months ago. A friend introduced me to somebody, and they were like going over the people I look like, which is always a super fun.
Which is like a
activity.
lot of people. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's a super fun activity for me. Everyone's like, "You look like John Cusack. You look like this guy." And I'm like, "This is great. I'm glad I'm part of this conversation."
Do I even need to be here? What am I doing?
I could leave a picture here and then just leave.
Yeah.
And then like later, the person's like mentioning to her boyfriend that I look like half of Hollywood, and he gets all defensive. And then she's like, "Oh no, but the wrong half of Hollywood." I'm like, "Oh,
The
thanks."
wrong half of Hollywood.
I'm like, "Yay!"
I don't think I've ever heard a more insulting thing in my life.
Also a fantastic
you
nickname.
look
I was
like
just
the
gonna say
wrong
that.
half
Yeah.
of Hollywood.
It's like I got
Holy
sucker punched
fuck.
in the nuts through a text message. I was
Jesus.
like, "Oh, yep."
Jareth, the wrong half of Hollywood Mooneyham.
I was referred to at work like 2 weeks ago as a taller, slightly less fat Zach Galifianakis.
Speaking of
Just
that,
because I have a beard and hair.
speaking
Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to figure out if you did that just for a segue for me, or if you actually
Partially.
partially.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you. Speaking
I had
of
that at the ready, actually.
speaking of Zach Galifianakis, he is set to voice the Joker in the Lego Batman film.
Can I just say that's probably our best segue yet?
Are you talking?
Probably.
I was so proud of my Dwayne the Rock
I liked
thing
it.
made of rock segue that I had earlier about
It functioned.
it
What about, I
functioned.
wish we had like a David Cross interspersing clip, like, come on, help daddy get his rocks off, you know, from when he plays the thing in the,
Yeah.
yeah, in Arrested Development.
All right. So I thought the Lego movie was hilarious. It was in my top 10 movies of last year.
Still haven't seen it.
I liked it.
Brilliant. I,
thought it was pretty
love
funny.
that movie because it worked for kids and it worked for adults. Something that I thought only Pixar could do.
Right.
And then is it DreamWorks? Is that who did it? Or was it was Nickelodeon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. They did it. They've cracked the code. They know how to make a movie that's both amazing for kids and adults.
We're in a good era, and this is going to be a weird sentence that I'm about to say. We're in a really good era for kids shows that work for adults.
100% agree.
Here's the secret to it is that we have, and I hate to call them this, but content creators who are making the things that they want to make. And so they're not targeting, 10-year-olds or anything like that. They're just making something.
Because now
And it-
weird is good.
Sure. And it sort of ends up being something that appeals a lot to a certain age range.
Like if you
I'm
just,
specifically talking about Steven Universe right now.
well, if you also go to like, say Adventure Time, which I actually don't really like it all that much. But
Is that the Catbug show?
Cat Book?
I guess it's not. Never mind.
It's basically just, it's what Madness is, only slightly, like, if it's Madness under medication.
Oh,
So,
no, that's a good descriptor with music.
I gotta find out what this Catbug thing's from now.
so it's, it's fun, but it's mostly just really weird. And that's kind of like the thing now.
Well, so the
Is-
reason that I was saying that is because the guys who wrote the Lego movie are the same guys who did 22 Jump Street both of the Jump Street movies.
Yeah,
and
we're both actually really good.
yeah, both.
yeah,
of them,
surprising how much I like the second one.
And
Me
man,
too. I
they
was
did
like-
they did something else, and I can't remember what it is. But they're just clearly they're just clever writers.
Yeah.
They know what to write to. They know how to get their dosages of self-awareness just right. So Yeah. I think that the worst thing they could have done with a Lego movie would have been to target it to, 12-year-olds.
I just don't think you can do that anymore, really,
Yeah.
because I mean,
I don't think 12-year-olds know what Legos are.
yeah, and it's
Unfortunately.
this is America in 2015. Everybody works 700 hours a week, and if you have kids, sorry, but then you take your kids to the theater, like it's got to be something you can somewhat relate.
Exactly, because you have to get some payoff out of this too. So that's why, Pixar movies are traditionally, like you said, also they're just good for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's like what media I think is starting to be honed for in a certain layer of it.
Plus, like, what's a 12-year-old now? A 12-year-old's thinking and wanting.
Someone who has lived for 12 years.
Hold on, can we
greatest life's questions ever? What is a 12-year-old?
Also, can we make this really creepy and just have a sound bite of Jareth being like, "What's a 12-year-old now?
What's a
Always
12-year-old?
thinking and wanting."
How
Yeah, that's
old-
where that ended,
Like-
basically.
Like, a 12-year-old is... Their
You're saying-
exposure to things is very similar to an adult.
This is not getting
Phrasing,
better.
what you're saying is demographically,
The demographics have widened.
what is a 12-year-old?
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can use this shovel to dig my way out.
Also not good, man. I don't know.
Let him go.
I seem to be caught in a tight space right now.
Oh,
It's only
God.
getting deeper.
Oh my god, stop. This video is so gonna get fucking flagged.
Oh man, yeah, no, this
Okay,
is
but
not getting
seriously,
a clean
if you
rating.
can dig yourself out. Go.
Okay, I swear this means nothing. All I'm saying is that
caveat on it
that was for everything prior, not for what I'm about
This
to
is just
say.
one night, baby, and I literally mean baby.
Oh, Brian, fuck off!
If we weren't flagged, we are now.
Can we just bail out? Can I hit the eject button on
Yeah,
this?
eject.
Should have done that before conception.
Okay, I can't talk about Patreon now. God damn it.
Well, you can. There's gonna be some people.
This
who
was
will
a good
donate to this.
topic, too.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Jareth.
This wasn't my fault. I was trying to make a legitimate point that you guys bombarded
Okay,
with your...
make your legitimate...
Seth.
I'm not going to say shit. Make your legitimate
Yeah.
point right now.
The demographics aren't the same as they used to be. Why are we still laughing?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That had nothing in it. That was
No,
completely...
I know. It's just
It's
flashbacks.
Oh, okay, great. I'm never going to live this down. The demographics aren't what they used to be. They tend to be larger than they once were, whereas before it was like 4 to 5, 12 to 11. Well, 11.
That's
Yeah,
a
so,
really
okay,
weird demographic.
Honestly, okay. Are you saying mental maturity has changed?
No,
over
just,
the time?
preferences.
Well-
the way that a group, a focus group, is going to rate things is different. And
well,
it's
yeah,
larger.
like with technology expanding, people know about things sooner.
Exactly.
I also think that our models for testing things and for targeting like media at demographics are becoming more sophisticated.
Yeah.
And so what we previously thought the demographics are starting to fall apart.
Which
We're
is
starting
why
to-
I think we're seeing this resurgence of superhero movies and like typically considered nerdy things because maybe demographics will reveal that these are actually pretty mainstream things.
Right. Like everyone.
Everybody could love them.
Right.
Like everybody watched Lord of the Rings, for
Sure.
instance. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, whether you read the Tolkien books or whether you're just some person, everybody did.
So
Yeah.
see how that was a legitimate point?
No, we
And it was
weren't
made
begrudging you that. It
intelligently?
was just you were talking like a
That was a
Gacy.
That's
After
a
you-
minefield. Okay,
After you explained it, it was a very good and valid point. So,
fun. Let me sit over here.
if for some ungodly reason you are still listening to this podcast and you would like to support us to continue making more of these, how the fuck am I going to do this?
I really don't know.
just sell it, man. Just
You're
sell it.
welcome.
You can head over to www.patreon.com/flickfreaks and you can donate $1 a month to help make this channel better because that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this channel
It's not
better
going to get
together.
worse.
It's not going to get worse.
You're welcome.
If you don't support us, you're going to have to sit through more of this. So,
or read about it in the paper.
yeah.
If you don't support them, I'll be back.
Oh God. No, I would love you guys to come back. I've had so much fun. Okay, so thank you to everybody for listening to that. We're going to move on to the next segment of the podcast, Trailer Talk, where we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 film trailers that have just recently been released. The first trailer we're going to be talking about is for the film Hateful Eight, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Sam Jackson, Kurt Russell, and Channing Tatum.
So it is Reservoir Dogs plus the wintry part of Django Unchained.
Yes, I'm on board.
That's what I got.
The Django.
Yeah.
Dead Django.
The D is silent.
Yeah.
So we're all seeing this, correct? That's
Yeah.
a thing.
I will
Oh.
begrudgingly see it, and I
Yeah.
might hate it, might love it.
Okay, you say you're not a Tarantino fan. Is there something like you just think his films are insanely overrated? You just don't follow, or you don't appreciate that type of genre? What?
I would say that his films are overrated. Most of them I don't actually like at all. Some of them, Pulp Fiction, love.
Yeah.
That one's incredible.
That's because that's awesome.
Yeah, no one's going
I
to
have nothing
deny that.
else.
I will say Kill Bills are very overrated. I don't like those movies.
I don't like Kill Bill.
I don't like
and that's
this conversation.
I don't
As-
like Kill Bill.
I know you love Kill Bill.
I'm like the biggest Tarantino apologist
Yeah.
that there could be.
Now, I will say that I did like Django Unchained, and I liked.
Did you
Inglourious
see
Basterds.
that? I know Mike and I saw it at the same time.
Yeah.
No,
Were
you
you
guys
present?
went to movie night.
Did we do that
me.
without you?
You were working. You were invited.
No, I was not working, and I was not invited. I asked if we could move that day so that I could go visit my dad, because those are my only days off.
I don't know how
Mm.
important family is, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say I don't like Tarantino, but he has good movies.
Is it just because you felt alone that one night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because you hurt me, Brian.
I knew it.
Tim Roth is back, and Reservoir Dogs is still my favorite Tarantino movie. So seeing him back is like amazing.
Does
And
he ever play anything other than just the creepy guy?
Well, was he kind of creepy and lied to me? Because I love that show.
I never did watch that.
No, I'm talking about in his Tarantino films.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought
No,
he was.
No, he's just creepy.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't very creepy in Reservoir Dogs, really.
No,
He
he
was
was
just
all
kind of-
bloody and shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
is
was
he
disgusting.
the guy who just looks really confused in the trailer?
He was the guy with the British accent. He's like, this is
Oh,
going to be a lovely
okay,
business.
never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Totally had a different guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the guy.
I was thinking of the guy next to him.
Thinking of the guy that did the ear thing.
The ear thing?
Yeah.
No.
Reservoir Dogs.
Michael
Oh,
Madsen.
you're thinking of Michael Mann.
That's it.
Michael
Yeah.
Madsen. Michael
Yes.
Mann is the director.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fact checker.
I'm a Michael.
I'm
man.
just going to say you cut me off before I could say the sun. But then, of course, that would not be true.
Michael Manson? Would
Yeah.
that be better?
So, what's the... Everybody's going to go see it. You're going to see it on principle or whatever just to see
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to go see it. He's probably going to make me see
Yeah,
it.
that's what's going to happen. He doesn't want to see it, but I'm going to see it, and he's going to come with
He
me.
made me see Inglourious Bastards.
Whoa, pump the brakes. You didn't like Inglourious Bastards?
No, I did. I wasn't going to go see it.
Okay. I love that movie.
I actually did really
it's
like
really
it.
good.
Yeah, it was really
And I
good.
like Django Unchained, but I did want to see that one. You dicks.
I think that
Still harboring resentment about that. And
I
I
think
learned something
that-
new.
Tarantino films, people love to see him is because he's sort of like the Daniel Day-Lewis of directing. He only makes a movie like every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And whenever he makes it, 99% of the time it's going to be brilliant.
I feel like no matter what your opinions, it seems like it's worth your time to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like, cause so much production is put into it. And by that, I don't mean special effects. I just mean so
Like
much
actual work.
work
Yeah,
is
you
put
can
into
tell.
every detail. So I feel like you will come out of a Tarantino movie with an opinion.
Good call. So yeah, the next trailer we're going to talk about, Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds. And is it Marina Baccarin? Is that how you...
Marina Baccarin.
Okay, there we go. Who else is in? Oh, TJ Miller was in it, and
Yep.
that guy is fucking hilarious. His show right now, Silicon Valley on HBO, is one of the funniest shows on TV, if not the funniest show on
It's
TV.
pretty funny.
Is that show that we watched like 2 episodes of and then didn't watch anymore?
Oh, really? You should. I really highly recommend you go back and watch that series.
No, it seemed good.
It
It seemed
was-
good. We just
yeah.
started watching something else. I don't remember what it was.
True
That-
Detective, actually.
Oh,
Oh,
Yep,
really?
that's what it
So
was.
that'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
HBO is wonderful.
Yeah.
It really
I'll
is.
just say that.
Honestly, my favorite show on HBO right now is Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
just
good.
excellent, man.
I love that guy so much.
Solid points made, too.
Yeah.
Not just hilarious.
Oh yeah. No, he's like if Jon Stewart could really let go
And
say
was
what-
British.
and was British. Yeah.
Well, that's what would let him let
and
go.
still had a show. But
Yeah. So anyway, Deadpool is. I have to drop back to like if I was 14.
mhm.
God damn, I would murder people to see this movie.
yeah.
Oh my God, like that's everything. You know? Oh my God,
So,
really?
I got a trailer because I pulled up IMDb and Deadpool, and the first thing that popped up was a
Autoplay trailer.
autoplay trailer.
I
Fucking
thought
hate
you just
that.
had a really dramatic ringtone.
Yeah.
No.
Like, oh, someone needs me.
He dives out the window.
Hey, if the door opens, I would just open the door.
So
There's no time.
there's no time.
So Deadpool will definitely be like as much of I was a really big fan of the Cable and Deadpool comics that came out. Like that's when I came in on it. And as much as I am a fan of that, I still think the Deadpool movies are gonna require me to kind of like they're gonna need to really appeal to a certain part of myself, sort of like the Godzilla movie had to do, or the Pacific Rim movie had to do.
Yeah.
Like-
so almost like
I wasn't watching that like a 20 something. I was watching that
No.
like I was.
which is
Exactly.
fine. I think you need that from time to time.
Yeah.
But not all the time.
Pacific Rim
That's
was
actually
great.
kind of interesting because thinking of Pacific Rim and Godzilla, you see those kaiju movies as a kid, and then when you watch them, then you know, like we talked about with Jurassic Park, you know, when the John Williams score, we said we turned into the kids who saw the original
Right.
one.
Jumps right over our adult cynicism. High fives,
Yeah.
little kid.
But
I wish more things were capable of doing that.
It's hard.
here's a weird point though, because whenever I was reading X-Men comics, because that's how I was introduced to the Deadpool character. Him and is it Domino? Is his
Yeah.
side? Okay, the Lucky. Yeah.
She's not really his sidekick, but they hang out.
Okay. So whenever
They're cool
I
with
was
each
seeing
other.
them or reading about them, I felt like I was secretly an adult because a lot of the stuff they were talking about was more mature and stuff.
Yeah.
So will I feel like a kid who thinks he's an adult whenever I watch this?
Yeah,
Deadpool
I feel like that every day.
a kid who thinks he's an adult.
But like, just fucking look at Deadpool. He's red and black, and he's got 2 swords and 2 guns, and like he says things they're like edgy. Like that's 14-year-old boys. You know,
Yeah.
that's
very
it.
true.
That's like something that a 14-year-old boy would draw in high school.
Like
Yeah.
Deadpool was the character that everybody thought was like they wrote his name on their fucking Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of shit or something.
Well, that's just a very shocking name. More than like Wolverine. Because that could just actually be the brand of your Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a
Wolverine
Deadpool Trapper Keeper.
Ooh, made of adamantium. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
You
Yeah.
nailed it. You
Yeah,
nailed it, man.
good
Yeah.
call.
Just threw a dart in the dark and nailed the bullseye.
I was just going to go with it's a rugged animal name, which goes for...
It actually is a
character
pretty
books.
good brand name.
Yeah.
You know,
Wolverine.
you should, Jareth, you should take that to whoever you.
We're
the patent-
Wolverine backpacks. They're yellow and black.
I'm Jareth Mooneyham. Take me to the patent office.
I think Wolverine should be an outdoor camping equipment.
Also works.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go see this because so many awful things happen in that X-Men Origins film whenever that thing they put on screen and they called that Deadpool.
Yeah.
The Wolverine Origins thing that basically happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they came out and they said, hey, we're making the Deadpool movie and we're going to make it right. And I'm like, awesome. And then they go, by the way, it's going to be PG-13. And I'm like,
Really? But of course it
And
is.
then they came out on April Fool's Day and they said, fuck you guys. We're joking. It's going to be rated R.
But it isn't, right?
no, it's going to be rated R.
That surprises me.
Yeah, did you see the Red Band
It was a
trailer?
Red
There
Band
was
trailer we watched.
blood all over the place.
And he shot 3 dudes in the head with
They
one
said-
bullet and said, I'm going to touch myself.
They said
tonight.
swears in it.
It said the
They said the F swear.
They said the F swear.
Yep.
The,
it was like
the
a
swear?
avocado
Yep.
fucked an older avocado and stuff like that. Yeah. So I honestly think that Ryan Reynolds is like, we're going to make this movie right if we're
Well,
going to do it.
this will be interesting then in some way because I never thought that was possible because that might eliminate, $10 they get. And God forbid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're getting to a point now where they recognize that if they make a movie right for an adult demographic, they're going to make their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in a good getting into a good era for media.
Just
in general.
occurred to me that Roper is probably going to skin me alive for saying the things I said about Deadpool. So
He is basically a 14-year-old in a grown man.
that's true.
With a gun.
And he's a
With a gun.
policeman. Yeah.
Is
There's
he
a lot of jokes that we will not make that we could make in this particular place.
All right, so the next trailer that we're going to be talking about is brutal. It is called Beasts of No Nation, starring Idris Elba, and it's about, from what I gather, this African warlord taking on the government or whatever.
From the perspective of a small boy.
Yeah,
Child soldier.
Yeah, child soldier. Holy fuck, this looks like, I don't know if I'm going to feel right watching this.
This is going to be a movie you're going to walk away from not feeling okay.
Yeah.
Unless you're a monster.
Why-
It's directed by Kerry. I'm going to totally destroy this last name. Fukunaga, I think is how you say it.
No, I think that's
I
right.
think that's
Okay.
right.
He was the original creator of True Detective, season 1 anyway.
Or is he a director?
Yeah. He created it and directed it. But yeah, this looks so fucking good. And I kind of feel awkward about saying that it looks good.
Because it doesn't seem entertaining. It seems
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. It looks good.
Yeah.
it's a film.
Exactly.
I do think, like, I have to say, it's an interesting move on Netflix's part for this to be their first major motion picture. Also, by itself, weird that Netflix is going to have a first major motion picture, but weird that it's going to be about this.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Like, I'm pretty sure that's awesome that
Yeah.
they're doing that, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does have a couple of advantages as a first picture. It's got the kind of shock factor for grab. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a very shocking topic.
Yes.
It could be effectively making a point about kind of a larger issue, which that is a pretty big issue.
and it has Idris Elba in it.
And it's got an excellent director, and it's got good actor. Well, at least one good actor.
It has good actor.
We don't know about the kids.
It has good
It
actors.
has
Great
good
actors.
Actor.
So, I mean, this could be exactly what they need to make sure that they can continue making original motion
Yeah, which I hope they do. I mean, honestly, the more things like a lot of people have talked about the downside of it, but oh no, I have to have subscriptions to so many things. I don't really care. Like, I like the idea that we're getting content from so many places. Like,
Yeah.
if there are films coming out not just to your local multiplex, but you can see them streaming different ways. Same with TV shows. It's not just networks, not just cable.
Yeah, especially if it's quality.
Yeah, well, and we're just seeing more people get shots they wouldn't get otherwise. So
Yeah.
we're going to see, even if there is more direct, there's going to be more good content as well. So I am
Yeah.
in favor.
I'm not gonna lie. Before I even knew that Kerry Fukunaga was making this, or that it was Netflix, I was gonna see just because Idris Elba was in it.
Yep.
I like that guy.
I want him to be the next James Bond, and I want him to be the next Doctor Who. So
Yeah. Yep.
I just,
I share that sentiment with you wholeheartedly.
yeah, he would be an amazing James Bond, and he would be a pretty interesting Doctor Who. But I'm not saying I want Peter Capaldi to go away because I think Peter
He
Capaldi
seems
is
pretty
awesome.
great. He seems pretty
Are
great.
we at the maximum limit for generations at this point?
Who cares?
Technically, yeah, but I'm sure they can pull something out of their ass where he can regenerate another time.
They
Well,
break Continuum all the time, man.
My dad's theory on it is that was a law set by the Time Lords. The 11 regenerations after that, you're done.
Yeah.
So if the Time Lords are dead, no law.
Oh, interesting.
Because, I mean, they're kind of touching on that, well, I'm the master of my own destiny thing.
Yeah. Like it's an actual law, not like a law of nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the
More
master
like
is
Dr. Wynn.
Fuck off, Brian.
Can we turn off his
Yeah.
mic?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay,
He'll
so
just start yelling.
I will.
Beast of No Nation. I'm going to go and see it, but I'm not going to feel good about watching it.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, but for all the wrong reasons.
I'll totally watch it.
Yeah. So the next film that we're going to be talking about is Trumbo.
Man, that looks really good.
Not about an elephant.
Yep. I will totally see
Not
it.
about a
Also,
trombone
not
elephant.
at
That
all
was
about
Dumbo.
Seattle Mariners outfielder Mark Trumbo.
Shame.
3 people
Not
got
about
that
him.
joke, and none
Shame.
of them listen to this podcast.
No, that's fine.
Shame.
No, it stars Bryan Cranston, Diane Lane, and Helen Mirren, who, no matter how old she gets, is still hot.
Helen Mirren's amazing.
Yeah, the Dame Helen Mirren.
I like that they're putting Louis C.K. like second in the lineup there, but I think he's probably in that one scene. Like, I just have that feeling.
Yeah,
that
it was
actually-
like a marketing thing.
Yeah, like he's probably just in that one scene.
They
but-
also showed him briefly in a courtroom.
Okay.
I think he was just standing there though.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
in the background after that.
Just nodding and kind of giving
Yeah.
that look like he's really listening.
So, for all of our listeners who don't know who Dalton Trumbo is, he was in the 1940s a Hollywood screenwriter who was actually blacklisted and was not able to make films anymore because he was a communist. And so what he did is he started writing scripts under an alias, and he actually wrote the script for Spartacus. And this is a movie about his getting to write his blacklisting films and all that goodness.
Yeah, it looks. Looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely see this. So far, I will end up seeing all of these so far, one way or another.
Yeah,
I'm always a big fan of McCarthyistic era Cold War, so
Yeah,
It's a very interesting time in the United States history.
Yeah.
Just the dark Big Brother stuff that was going on.
the hate and the fear and the
Yeah,
not knowing who's
like-
watching you thing.
it's kind of like this is being recorded in Missouri. It's kind of like just living here.
It's
know,
kind of
like-
expressing a liberal opinion in
Yeah.
a public place here.
No, that's what I noticed you don't have a truck.
This
What
apartment,
are you, some kind of?
This
you know,
apartment we're in right now is the one safe place in Missouri right now.
All
That's
other
there aren't
places
many.
are terror. They're lava.
Missouri's lava. But yeah, I will definitely go and see this movie if it even screens here in Missouri.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So yeah,
There are
I'm
ways.
sure it will. We're
Um,
exaggerating a little bit, everybody on the internet.
Yeah, it's just we're in what's considered the Bible Belt of the United States, so it's also a very conservative.
I would like
area
to
of the
suggest
country.
that the United States just start buying pants that fit, and we can get rid of the belt.
Fuck off.
Yes,
How did I never see that joke coming?
had to be done.
All these years calling it the Bible Belt.
Yeah. So,
Well, obviously its pants don't fit. I mean, we still got Florida hanging out.
Ew.
oh, so the last
Also, as the most obese nation in the world, how do we need a belt?
yeah, good call.
Can we do 6 more of those, guys? Come on.
I don't
No.
think
Yes.
we've driven that point home.
Hold on. We're fat and religious.
Yes,
Okay.
There we go.
we as the royal we, not
No.
people in this room per
No.
se.
No,
Nobody in this room
per se.
Most of us are under 200 pounds combined,
Yeah.
though we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm 195 pounds, so I'm barely under that.
210 right now.
For the
Yeah.
love of God, move us on.
No.
the last trailer, 165. The last trailer
Thank you.
we're going to be talking about is a film called Burnt, directed by John Wells, who we can thank for giving us, alongside with Aaron Sorkin, The West Wing, and he also gave us ER. So
right.
this is, well, he gave us West Wing. Well, let's just stop right there then. I love The West Wing.
You should describe the plot of this movie, Andrew.
Okay, so everybody saw the movie Chef with John Favreau.
Is it about Chef Boyardee and his rise to greatness?
Unfortunately, no.
I can do that hybrid thing I keep doing.
What's that?
It's The Fighter by way of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, there we go. So
There we go.
it's a Cinderella story of a chef who was, well, I guess not technically Cinderella, but he was once great, fell from grace, and now is rising back once again to the top.
Does
So,
it seem?
It's Rocky 3.
Yeah. Does it
Yeah.
seem pretentious to anyone else?
Yeah.
I feel just already over this movie.
You know what I don't like is cooking shows
okay.
or anything like
Maybe
that.
that's what it is.
The
Just
reason-
the mundanity of the whole thing. Like, okay,
Maybe I need to be more open, like, to the fact that this is a movie about cooking and that.
oh, but it's not. It's so much more.
Clearly, because I mean,
Okay,
he's got
but
like
it's
some
funny-
relationship that he's struggling with, and there's people fighting him.
Yeah.
people fighting him in
Looked
a
like
back alley?
the mob was maybe after him. I don't know.
Yeah, that
well,
part I
he
didn't
kind of
get.
undercooked their chicken parmesan.
The reason why I brought up the movie Chef that came out, I think it was last year or the year before, is because it was a
think that
movie
was
about
last year.
a chef who gave up his 5-star restaurant
Yeah.
to go work in a food truck. And I'm like, okay, this sounds like the dumbest movie. And it ended up being
It
one
was
of my
solid.
favorite movies of last year.
You say Jon Favreau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he directed, wrote it, and he writ it. And
He written
he starred in it as well. And it was an amazing movie. Not a movie you should watch on an empty stomach
Mm.
because you will leave like just starving for anything because
Yeah.
everything in that movie looked amazing.
Maybe that's why I'm just immediately turned off by watching food things. I eat food. I don't want to see it.
Yeah. I just don't care,
If-
I guess.
If you're not an aesthetic person, if it tastes
Very
good.
tactile.
Yeah.
I'm a very tactile person.
Okay.
Andrew, thank you for asking.
Good. Sorry to bring up such a sore subject.
It's okay.
So that is going to wrap it up for trailer talk. What is the next thing? We haven't done this in so fucking long. The Fairbairn forecast. So for those of you who don't know, Austin Fairbairn, one of the founding fathers of this YouTube channel and the podcast, actually, he came up with the thing where we're going to tell you what movies are new in theaters this week. So opening this week in theaters, you can go and see, as we discussed, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. came out yesterday, as well as Straight Outta Compton, which apparently that movie is amazing, and I
Yep.
really do want to see it. Alongside those films, you can see People, Places, Things, 10,000 Saints, Final Girl, Mistress America, and Fort Tilden. So-
I don't know what any of those are.
No.
yeah, after Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Straight Outta Compton, I didn't know what any of those were.
Okay.
I think Final Girl is a movie that has Abigail Breslin and Wes Bentley in it. And the one kid that's not a Hemsworth from Hunger Games.
That's what he will forever be known as.
The one kid that's not a Hemsworth, yeah. All right. So everybody get your smart devices ready. It's time to play IMDb Idiots. Do you
Ben
need
Affleck
the-
was born today.
Was he?
It's Ben Affleck's birthday.
Hey, do you need the password again? Or-
I remembered it.
Nice. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what IMDb Idiot, oh my God, let's start that sentence over. For those of you who do not know what IMDb Idiots is, it was a game we used to play on the podcast where I would give off facts about a television show, film, or video game, and the gentleman with me will try and guess what said topic I am talking about. However, you only get one guess. If you guess wrong, you are out. Unless everybody gets it wrong, then you get to come back in. Every 5 seconds, I will list off a fact about said thing, and then the first one to 3 points total wins. Are we ready?
Yep.
We are.
So, the first item we are going to be talking about is a television show. Okay?
Oh dear.
It was created by David Shore.
House.
Good call.
Balls.
That
Well,
was
there you
actually
go.
pretty arrogant because he has a lot of out there and you just went straight for one. You could have been out.
What other one are you going to pick?
I never
mean,
liked House. There was something.
House is one of my favorite shows, like ever. All right. The next thing we're going to be talking about is a video game.
I am immediately at a disadvantage.
Well, all you have to do is look stuff up. So
That's what I'm gonna. That's totally my plan of attack.
okay. So it was directed by Casey Hudson.
With a C.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the voice actors was Adam Baldwin.
Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Holy shit.
How the
The internet.
Because here's the thing, and what's annoying about that is that Casey Hudson, BioWare, I knew that. Adam Baldwin, I know Adam Baldwin. And I was like, what BioWare game was he in? Fuck you, Brian.
I know Adam Baldwin because he's one of the Baldwins.
No, he's
He's not. He's actually the Baldwin that's not in the Baldwin
He
family.
fucking technically is one of the Baldwins,
He
guys.
is a
That's
Baldwin.
not a debatable thing.
Okay, he's a Baldwin. He's not one of the Baldwins.
Depends who you think the
Do
Baldwins are.
do you visit Brian K. Vaughn regularly at family reunions?
Fuck that guy.
Brian Vaughn.
He's one of us, though.
All right. The next one up is a film directed and written by Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Starring, as with many of his films, Bill Murray.
Life Aquatic.
Yes.
Balls on a
Fuck you.
spoon.
So Brian, you
Even
only-
the video game.
I mean, I just like 20% at that one. I was
Yeah,
like,
really?
I'm just taking a shot to try and get it first.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah, it is. IMDb has informed me that Wes Anderson looks a little bit like a creep.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this last and possibly final thing we're going to be discussing, if Brian gets this right, is a film directed by Michael Mann.
Bringing it back around, right?
You're not going to jump in with a...
I don't know. I'll do what I want.
Okay. It stars Jamie Foxx.
Collateral?
Yes.
Fuck off.
I knew that one, though.
You go die in a
I knew that
hole
one legitimately.
right now.
I was going to go one or two ways. I was
Heat?
either
Was
going to
Heat
do
the other one?
Heat or I was going to do Collateral.
Why is Collateral not on his filmography?
I don't know. Jareth's still trying to figure it out.
I don't go to IMDb a lot.
Jared's still back on House.
Like after we're done with this, Jareth's just like, house!
All right. Well, since you gentlemen were gracious enough to join us for our bringing back around of this podcast,
Thank you very much for having us.
Oh, I had so much fun. Would you please plug away? Because I don't know if you've done it already or it's coming up. Diecast, is that coming up soon or has it already happened?
Okay, so we already recorded it. I'm currently in the process of editing it, so it should be up here at the end of the... I fucking have said that so many months, but it should be up here at the end of the month.
Okay.
And this will be episode 0, so we didn't actually get to any playtime. It was mainly just us constructing the story and the characters and all that stuff.
So our listeners don't actually know what Diecast is. Would you mind just really quickly going over...
So it's an actual play podcast, which means that it is a role-playing podcast. We're playing a tabletop role-playing game like, say, Dungeons and Dragons. So what I'm saying is that a very specific person is going to really like this podcast, and everyone else, it'll be great sleeping material.
I'm not gonna. I have been looking forward to this for ever since I first heard about it. I'm like, I've got to either watch this or listen to it because it's going to be amazing. So, where can people find that?
So that'll be up on the Alltower Media. The webpage. The best thing to do is just look up Alltower Media podcast on Facebook. So they have a very active Facebook page, and they also have a website, which I think is just alltowermedia.com. So if I'm wrong, just type it into Google.
It'll
pop
figure
up.
it out.
Damn
Google
them
knows its
internets.
job.
Is there anything else you guys like to plug? Things I'm not aware of? Things coming up? Because you have Spellbook. What are some other things?
Oh man, I mean, we just
So many.
have. I think we'll have another spoiler cast here popping up. When is this going to drop?
Tonight or tomorrow morning.
Oh wow. Okay, so we'll have another episode up this Wednesday of the spoiler cast, and then
recording tomorrow night.
the diecast should be up the end of this month. So that's about it.
Awesome. All right. So thank you to everybody for watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button down there. And again, if you wouldn't mind to support us on Patreon, because we're all going to make this channel better together. If you'd like to find us on other social media, you can find us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, and Instagram. All of those at /FlickFreaks. Thank you again for listening. We will catch you in the next podcast or video. Until then, Godspeed.
Ahoy!
See you guys.